When you come to the end of your time on programme, you must ensure that you have been on programme for at least 12 months, completed all knowledge, skills and behaviours criteria, often known as KSBs, completed any functional skills qualifications required. If you have gained this qualification or equivalent previously, you will not be required to do it again. You must provide your completed portfolio at Gateway with between 10 to 15 pieces of evidence mapped holistically across the criteria, which can include statements, reports, observation documents and feedback from managers and peers. After you have completed all of these, you are now ready for Gateway. Gateway is a meeting scheduled at the very end of your apprenticeship programme. This will involve you, your manager and your assessor. During this meeting, you will discuss progress made and come to an agreement that you are working at or above the occupational standard and that you are deemed to have completed all aspects of your learning. When all parties are in agreement, you will then be put forward for EPA. During the Gateway, you must provide your completed portfolio of evidence. This will typically contain 20 discrete pieces of evidence and all evidence must be clearly mapped. Evidence sources may include workplace documents, for example, policies, procedures or records, witness statements, annotated photographs or video clips. If you are submitting video clips as part of evidence, please note that these must not exceed 20 minutes and the apprentice must be in clear view. You must also submit your project's proposal, subject, title and scope, which should be no more than 500 words. We ask that if you require any reasonable adjustments or if there are any important information you wish us to take into consideration during the EPA process, you let us know at the Gateway meeting. There are two separate elements to the Level 5 Operations and Departmental Manager EPA, and these are Project Proposal, Presentation and Questioning, Professional Discussion underpinned by Portfolio of Evidence. Let's take a look at what these elements involve and what you need to prepare for. For this element, you will be required to complete a relevant and defined piece of work that has a real business benefit through a project proposal and presentation. The project's subject, title and scope, submitted at Gateway, must be no longer than 500 words and explain the business benefit you have implemented. After your scope has been accepted, you have no longer than 12 weeks to complete your project report, which should be roughly 4,000 words, and the project presentation. Your report should include graphs and figures, and the word count should exclude references and appendices. It is important to note your presentation and report should be submitted 2 weeks before the assessment takes place. For example, if your assessment is booked 14 weeks after your Gateway, you must submit it on week 12. There will be 8 questions at the end of your presentation based on pre-selected themes. Your assessor will be able to prepare you for these themes. The presentation typically lasts 20 minutes and the questioning will last 40 minutes. The independent assessor may ask follow-up questions where clarification is required. Your assessor will be able to give you a full rundown of the project requirements for all elements. This element will take form as a professional discussion. Your independent assessor will select 6 questions to prompt discussion, and they can ask further questions if they deem appropriate to gain more clarification if necessary. The professional discussion will last 60 minutes. You and the independent assessor must have copies of the portfolio so you can both refer to it throughout the professional discussion. After you have completed all of the elements, you will get an overall result within 10 working days. If you have to resit any element, you must do so within 3 months of the fail notification. Good luck.